Poducer.
Yeah, there's a dog here. She might intermittently come into the frame. She's been on the show before. Going Somewhere podcast. Yeah, she's the third chair. She's actually doing all the scene switching
right now. Behind the scenes, the engineer.
Yeah, she's just like at the computer, like.
That'd be a funny clip for you if you just got like.
Yeah, like have you seen those clips where it's like 8:59 and it's just like a dog in bed, and then it's like 9 o'clock, like on a Zoom call, pretending to work.
Or I don't know if you've seen yet. They're like, it's a little. I think it's like a wiener dog, and they put a hat on him and they have him DJ, but they're like below the deck, like doing this to him. So the dog's like jamming, not like this, because you know how their necks like sway.
People will do anything for that content. Like
it's good, man. It's good.
No, it's all good. It's good with me. I mean, just don't abuse your dog.
That too.
No, I think it's all good. Cool, man. Well, let's get into it. I'll do a little intro. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Poducer, the podcast for producers. Today we are joined by Sir Trevor James.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, dude. Of course. Thanks for coming through. We were thinking about doing this at your studio, and then I was like, it's going to be easier for me to edit.
Seamless. No, seamless. I don't know if I can talk about it, but you got everything here, so it's perfect.
It's all already set up.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
But Trevor, what do you do?
Oh, geez.
It's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, it was. I hope that video I made recently kind of answered some of that for some people. But
not to stop you from going over that, but I've been noticing a lot of people have been making videos kind of saying what they're doing. Yes. I don't know if that's like a thing, like 2024, like it's a trend almost for people to be making videos of like, hey, I do all this stuff, and like
why is which essentially my opinion, just being blunt with you, it's kind of like if you're a multifaceted entrepreneur essentially,
which we all are.
Yeah, if I come to your page, it's kind of like, what are you? So I think, at least from my perspective, that video is one to be like, this is what that is, versus like I don't know if people are doing it because of like trends or something. I didn't know that.
It feels like
new
a
news
trend
to me, but yeah, I didn't know that.
It definitely makes sense. Like, like you go to someone's page and it's kind of like their business card almost, or it's like their
portfolio.
Yeah, just in a video, but in a reel.
Yes. Yeah.
Which will probably do better.
Yes. And it's new reach. I don't know if you've seen that yet on Instagram. The posts that you do go towards your fan base. The reels go towards new people. So that's kind of also, I think, the spread between that. Like, hey, this is who I am. Come check me out. And then once they get them, the regular posts, I think, is the thing that kind of keeps them consistent. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, my strategy has just been basically reels because obviously we're like filming stuff. Look, ladies on the camera. But like posts are just, I don't know, they don't do quite as well for me.
No, you gotta put a little bit of funding behind them, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, a little booster action.
Little booster action.
All right, well, we got off on a tangent already. Like for talking about that portfolio reel, what's included in that?
So DJ. I would do creative director, and I'm just gonna sum up producers. I'm just gonna sum it up there. I think those are like the main three things that I do. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yo, what's up, guys? Before we get into today's show, I want to take a quick moment to talk about our sponsor, Quake. As music producers and concert enthusiasts, we know how important it is to protect our ears. That's where Quake's Dub Muffs V2 come in. They aren't just any earplugs, they're a game changer. What sets Dub Muffs V2 apart, first off, their quality. They're better than any plugs I've ever used. I use them all the time. I have custom in-ear plugs. These are my main ones that I bring to shows. You get premium sound clarity, preserving those crisp highs and deep lows, all while safeguarding your ears from damaging volumes. And the best part, they don't break the bank. Quality and affordability, son. Let's talk customization. Quake knows one size doesn't fit all. That's why they offer two sizes. Whether you're at an intimate gig or a massive festival, dub muffs V2 fit comfortably in your ears, making sure you're protected no matter how long the show lasts. Let's face it, we've all left concerts with ringing in our ears. It's not good, but it ends up happening. But it doesn't have to be that way. Protect your ears while enjoying the pure sound of music with Quake's Dub Muffs V2. As a special thank you to our listeners, Quake is offering an exclusive discount. Just use the code POD15 at checkout to save on your first purchase. As a motto of our show, make sure you protect your ears. Now let's get back to the show. Well, before I forget to do this also, because in a different episode, 2 episodes ago, actually, wait, no, it's going to be in a different order. So anyway, someone I forgot to ask my icebreaker question, and I asked it at the end of the show, and that's kind of a no-no.
Okay.
So the question is, what was your first concert?
Oh, damn, dude. Are we talking like small party, or are we talking like professional?
Yeah, more like it's an artist that like...
I'm an artist now. All right. I would say, Medusa and Elgin? You ever hear of the club?
Yeah.
That shut down? Yeah. That was, I think, my first like step into the industry, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Because before it was just like small school parties. Like I did a couple weddings that a couple people needed. And then, yeah, that was like...
So wait, did you perform this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't clarify. Sometimes we do the first one that you performed. I was talking more about like the first concert you went to go see.
Oh, the first concert I went to go see. Ultra Music Festival.
Oh, wow. You went to Ultra?
2012, Miami. Yeah.
Sick.
I think that was the first. Because, excuse me, seeing Skrillex was the reason I started doing everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So who else did you see there?
Oh, geez. Martin Garrix, he was starting at that time. He was another one of my favorites. Damn, bro, that was so long ago.
I think my buddy went to that same thing. Yeah, we actually went to like the Netherlands, which was sick. Me and a group of people at the end of high school. And I remember my one buddy didn't go, and he was like, well, fuck, I got to do something cool.
Truth.
So he went to Ultra with his brother.
No, definitely a cool experience. Something I'd highly recommend. I don't know if they're still even doing them anymore. That would actually be something cool.
It's like way too many days. It's like 2 weekends.
Yeah,
also, I know that you have in Miami, there's like the music festival week or whatever. It's like also happening.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if they're doing it anymore, but it was awesome. Seeing like Carnage even did like I didn't see his set. I think he did a set, but I know he also joined with Skrillex on his set. Yeah, bro, that was so long ago. That's a good icebreaker. I don't know how do you say that though.
It gets the juices going, the gears turning. But like, yeah, who else did you saw? Skrillex and
that's all I can think I remember. Yeah, dude, that was so long ago. That's why I was saying it's such a good question. It caught me off guard.
Yeah, no, it's a fun one.
What about you though? I don't know if anyone answered this.
People ask, and it was The Fray.
The Fray, really?
Which is like so not how I wanted it to be, but I really can't do anything about it.
Was this where was the performance at? Like a venue or?
It was at Northerly Island, and like that was pretty cool to see a show there. But yeah, I was supposed to see Fall Out Boy. Like that was supposed to be the first one, and then Anyway, I've talked about this too many times now. But yeah, man, I just wanted to kind of. I normally go into like origin story here,
of course,
which is like, how did you get into producing? How did you get into DJing?
No, of course. So I mean, it was kind of a little. Are we allowed to swear on this?
You can say whatever the fuck you want. All right,
perfect. It was a little ass backwards with how I got into things because I started like that, getting really into EDM, and then my cousin rooted FL Studio for me. So I started doing like mashups and remixes on there because I was doing a couple DJ gigs after I went to that. And then I went to Columbia College. That's when I kind of like stopped DJing.
I don't know if we talked about that, but I also went.
Okay, perfect. When did you go?
I graduated in 2016.
Oh, way before me, bro. I don't think I went to like 2018.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, way before me. So I went there, did a year there, and then transferred over to SAE Institute. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah. That's like the rival college, but like the better one. Like people are, it's cooler. Columbia is like a little jank.
I think
that's a bad way to put it. It's a good school.
It's a good school. I think Columbia's got better connections. I think Columbia has better utility, if that makes sense. Like not the gear utility, but more so like the teachers that are there. They have more knowledge, in my sense. I don't want to speak bad on SAE, but SAE is like the first year you're there, you're hands on. You know, you're learning what the hell a patch bay is and how to connect that and how does that work with the SSL versus like Columbia. I don't know if it was the same for your year. You can't get hands on until your fourth year.
Did you study audio? Yeah. So yeah, like I actually transferred in after doing all my like whatever like gen ed classes at a community college. But like yeah, so like we had to do like production stuff in the lab, like on the computer before we were like hands on with like in the studio. Yep.
And then like you couldn't even use the reverb chamber or anything like that till the fourth year. Okay, so same thing. Yeah, that's why I left. So I got the hell out of there. So I did that, and then that's when I met with Shad, which unfortunately doesn't make music anymore. He kind of does, and then Wemimo. Which is I don't know if I could say underground Chicago artist, but he kind of gave me my first initial leeway into like what rap is, and like kind of learned what R&B was. Worked with a project with Renika, so that was kind of like the start of producing, and now we're here. Now we're here, kind of going back into the EDM.
What was like first release? Like, were you playing shows before you were releasing music?
Yeah, so I was DJing before I released music. I don't think I released a true song until 2018. I think it was 2018 was my first initial release, and then we did a party at you remember the Aux? I don't know if you know the venue here. They closed down too, unfortunately, but that was like a small little hole in the wall. It was like they had a stage and like an LED wall and some lights, and they had like an audio guy in the back. So it was pretty legit.
What neighborhood is that?
I don't remember where the Aux. Yeah, I don't remember. I know you can Google it and it says like permanently closed now. So it's like,
gotcha.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was definitely cool first experience, kind of getting to learn ticket sales, promotion of the show, and stuff like that. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
So you were DJing those shows, and then like, what are we using DAW wise?
FL.
So you're still FL since the rooted
yes.
FL? Okay.
Yes. Pro Tools, obviously, we'll utilize, but if I don't have to, I don't want to.
I would do projects at Columbia on Ableton, like the projects where you didn't have to show the project file.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because I was like, this is just easier.
It is. I mean, because you've been using it for so long, and then they're like, hey, you have to use this, which I get it. I understand. But if we look at a lot of like studios nowadays, you have pretty lenient kind of DAW usage here, at least between like Logic now and Pro Tools. A lot of people I know are tracking on Logic now, which I'll use from time to time. And then Ableton, man. I love Ableton.
Yeah.
I haven't learned it, haven't sat down. I like the, what's it called on the bottom where you can just keep dragging like effects.
Plugins and stuff.
Yeah, but you can make a chain out of that.
Yeah. I don't know what they call that section. I should, but like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's cool though, because you can like totally change a sound and make it something left field, you can't really do that on FL Studio or Logic, so
or at least not as quick.
Yes.
That's what I feel like. In Pro Tools it was like, I'd change like my sample rate and be like, we have to shut down the project, and I'm like, okay,
yep,
fine. I don't want to, but like that's okay. But it's just annoying. It feels clunky.
Yes, it's the old head way, it's the original what was and could be type.
The old guard.
Yes.
Yeah, nice, man. Well, so let's talk a little bit about like Blue Door Studios. Yeah. When did you, could you just explain what that is first so people know?
Yeah, so Blue Door Studios, we're a studio located in the West Loop. I would call us a startup. We're definitely a startup. It originated with his name is Victor. I went to SAE with him. He ended up opening up the studio. Didn't really have like, he had a plan, but not like initialized and like active and going. You know, he had some friends there helping him out and stuff like that. And then I came in. We kind of changed up a little bit here and there, and then we met another guy. His name is Wes, goes by Bodo. He's our head engineer, chief engineer. He came in, adopted a little bit more, and then we pulled on another guy. His name is Jay Will. So that's like the core foundation team. And from there, we moved from like, I'd say a room half the size of this to what you see now, essentially. And it's really been, like when you ask what we are, it's really been like this controversial thing. Like we're a multimedia company, we're a recording studio, we're an events management thing. But I think we're kind of finding what works right now. So yeah, to kind of bluntly answer your question, we're a host of many things, but I think we're mainly a primary recording studio that does that.
Well, there's a lot you can do in a recording studio.
Yeah, but I mean, to like left field you, last year from like June until July, August, I think October, November-ish, we did car meets. So we hosted like just it was called Retro Rally Collective, and we had like a group of 20 to 30 cars once a month come, and we'd do 150 miles. So, and then take photos of that, make like flyers and stuff. Hand out
is
t-shirts.
it kind of like what they do when like people meet up on their bikes and just like ride around the city?
Yes,
but
exactly. But with tuner cars. Yeah.
So tuner cars meaning like souped up.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
Like
like some crazy looking cars. And it's ironic how all that started, because originally I dropped a funk tape. Didn't really talk about it. But we had a music video that we were going to do for that, and we invited my buddy Joshua, who's the head of Ronin Syndicate. That's the car group. And he invited all his buddies out, and then from there it was our first ever like kind of a event. You can call it just for event, but it was really for the music video. And they were like, this is really well organized, you know. We're like, we don't know, like this is our first time doing it, like. So they were like, yeah, let's do something. And then from there met with another guy named another Jerry.
Hell yeah, shout out Jerry.
He connected us with a bunch of different venues. Not really venues, like small food establishments that are just willing to open their parking lot for us, which was very rare at the time, because you know you had all those burnout
rings.
Yeah, that was going on at the time. So it was really tough finding a spot to even like do that at. But he helped us get that connected, and from there, yeah, we've just been doing car rally events. So
you're still doing them?
Yeah, we still do them. We still do them. Yeah. It's just tough. Again, it's kind of back to that marketing thing. It's like, how do you show that, but then show that I can record you in the studio, you know, and then merge those without being confused as to how the two separate. So that's where we're at. That's where we're learning like what works.
Yeah, no, I feel you. You said you made like funk music, or funk. I think I saw on your Instagram it was called like high def funk.
Yeah, high definition funk. Yeah.
So what's like the story behind that? Because yeah, innately funk is kind of murky sounding.
Yeah, this grunge grit. It really doesn't really have like this gigantic story. It was just one of my camera guys. His name is Mike, and he was like, you should make funk, because I just happened to make one day, and he was like, that's funk, and I didn't know what that was at the time. And he was like, he showed me that by showing me you remember the Cars clip with the souped up cars coming up to Mac, the truck driver, when he's like falling asleep and they like blast the music.
Is this in Cars 1?
Yeah, I think it's the OG Cars. He showed me that clip, and I was like, damn, this is sick. So I was like, yeah, why not? So I think just since 2 years ago, I'll make it every so often. And then finally this year, James, the other dude at Blue Door, he was like, hey, put it in a project and drop that. So I was like, okay, I'll do like a producer tape, not really going to put much behind it. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to listen to this, but yeah.
What are the characteristics of funk?
More cowbell.
Yeah, exactly.
More cowbell.
For the people that don't know, and like I feel like, you know, I don't know still, but it's like cowbell melodies.
Cowbell melodies, literally in heavy grit bass. Yeah, like
yeah. And specific snares.
Yes.
I mean, kicks we could say maybe, but like I can't emulate it, but it's this specific snare.
Almost like a rim, but
yeah. It's like half rim, half snare.
Yes, yeah. It's funny too because it's like, what's the difference between like Memphis style trap with the vocal chops,
like Suicide Boys style?
Yeah. So I think I literally think the difference between those two is the cowbell.
I see, and I feel like I guess speaking specifically for Suicide Boys, I don't actually know where they're from. But yeah, they have some of the cowbell in it. It's like infused now a little bit. Whatever they were doing before also has that. But yeah, it's kind of just like a weird, interesting genre that was like, I fuck with it, and I've produced a couple funk tracks for funsies.
It's fun. You know, it's like, it's a track that sounds good, but you know it's pointless. You know, it's one of those like kind of things. But I thought it's cool how the car community picked up on it and kind of utilized it.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like Tokyo Drift music. That's another way I'd describe it.
Yeah, one of the tracks on there is actually called Tokyo.
Yeah, hell yeah. Word, man. Well, so yeah, like if someone came to you and was like, you know, we want to shoot a music video. Is that something you would be down to pick up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially it would be Victor or I. We'd discuss with you what do you need? What are you looking for? What's your budget? And then from there, we usually have a handful of contractors that we have always worked with in the past. We'll go to them, get a director. If you need a whole team, GOP, grip, you know, so on and so forth, we'll get that. Luckily haven't needed that yet. I don't think we're at that level yet, but the creativity from the people that we utilize, it's pretty great. So I would,
Nice. I guess it feels like there's probably nothing outside of like production that you wouldn't, I mean, you have to analyze like, okay, do we want to do this? But like,
yeah.
It sounds like you kind of do whatever. Like you're a multimedia company. Almost.
Yeah. How do you market that?
So that's been the real struggle because I feel like there is also that thing right now where everyone does wear so many hats. Like you do the graphic design, you do this, all these things. Like, so maybe it could be marketed as that. I mean, I don't know. You don't want to dilute yourself too.
Yeah, it's just like to represent that to you from an outside perspective, to at least grab your attention. I've grabbed it through a niche or niche.
I say niche, but I think you can say
niche.
Either.
Yeah, so that's how we've grabbed your attention, is that, and then you come through and then see all these other things you might not be interested in. It's kind of like hit or miss at that point, you know. That's what I mean more so with the marketing. It's not set in stone towards one select group of people. It's a little bit of a pie from each.
If you could choose like one thing to do, whether it be like being in the studio recording people, shooting music videos, whatever, like is there one thing that you really would want to do? Like if you could just do one?
That's tough.
It sounds like the answer is no.
I'm gonna have to say no if that's an answer. Yeah,
you can say no. Yeah, like I mean, it just sounds like you're interested in a lot of different creative endeavors.
I am. Yeah, kind of how we were talking earlier. Like even the camera stuff, I'm slowly getting into that. It's slowly becoming interesting. It's a whole nother world of its own, and you know, I could always become a better master at my criteria craft, but yeah, I like learning. I think that's what it is. Just trying new things to see what I'm good at. But then again, it's like you don't want to be what is that famous phrase? A master of none.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Jack of all trades, master
of none. Yeah.
No, I feel you too. I mean, we both started with audio, and then got into all the different types of media. And I've been having a lot of fun too, just learning about cameras.
I see that.
The lighting. I mean, lighting is so interesting. It's like, you know, you got sound out there in the world that you try to capture. You got light out there in the world that you try to capture. And it's basically like we started with ears, and some people who go into photography or filming, they start with eyes.
Yes,
and like, it's just so cool. Like lenses, I'll go and research lenses for 3 hours, not buy any lenses. Like it's not even,
just
it's
looking.
just, I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Like, oh, I can do that. Oh, that's cool.
Are
like,
you the YouTube tutorial type of YouTube university type of guy?
Totally. I feel like you have to be nowadays. And it's more like with lenses, I'm not even really like doing like tutorials, like production tutorials in Ableton or something, like specific things, how to get this sound. It's more just like a dude that reviews lenses or camera equipment, and I'm like, oh yeah, that it does look nice. Or they'll be like, you know, this is kind of jank, you could get this for cheaper. And I just like watching stuff like that.
Yeah. I always get contradicted when you look at one and they're like, this is the shit, and then you go to the next and they're like, it's mid, you know, you could get this and this, and then you're like, oh fuck, like I don't know what to get, because you're not I guess educated in that sense, so you're just kind of like, I was coming to you guys for that, but hit or miss.
You got to do your research. Let's just put it that way.
Hit or miss.
You got to get different points. But I was saying this before we got onto the show, is that like, I think that film people are snootier than audio people.
I can agree. I'll add in there, because I also do live sound. Lighting people are snootier than audio and video people.
Really?
I think so.
I would say that live sound people are probably the least snooty. Like they might
deal with the most shit.
They deal with the most shit. Yeah. They're just like, because no one really gives a shit that there's a live sound guy.
Oh no, not even the slightest.
They don't even know that he's there.
Not even the slightest. It's why a lot of underground shows kind of sound mid. It's really like, if you wanted to make your underground show what it could be, just get an audio guy.
But a live sound guy.
A live sound guy, yes, a live sound guy, yeah.
Because it's such a different world. Like, I remember in school, the live sound guys, they'd be like calling out frequencies in a room, like, yeah, like attenuate, 3600, like.
It almost makes you think they can master a track or something.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you guys are wicked. Like, you're dealing with sound in a room.
Acoustic.
Like,
those guys are even more wicked. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, that's
acoustic, like the acoustic builder guys.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's another level.
That is rocket building.
I mean, at that point, you're really getting into some super technical physics.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you're, I mean, constructing a room to sound good, like you're insane.
That goes over my head.
It's one thing to just point a mic at something and be like, yep, I can hear it. It sounds pretty good. Like, I mean, and that's the thing, is like the tech for audio and video is so good at a consumer level that you can point these devices at things and get something good.
Yeah.
But there is nothing like that when it comes to acoustic design. Like you can't just buy the fucking you know, you could buy like a sound booth at your office.
Yep. I think the reason being behind that is because it's kind of opinionated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at acoustic treatment the same as I look at like mastering. It's like, well, not totally the same, because obviously mastering is like only last 10%, you know, they say, to where this is like the whole fucking room. But it's like minor tweaks, you know, like if you want more bass frequencies, if you want a flat leveled frequency, you know, stuff like that. But
how do you sorry, no, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. I was just gonna say, like, Wes, our chief engineer, actually showed me this thing. It's called Sound ID, and what you can do is you put it in your DAW on your master track, and you can go through different like EQ variations that'll tell you, like, this is what your track will sound like in a car, this is what your track will sound like, you know, so on and so forth. So there's stuff like that, but just even without like your room treated, you know. So
have you seen those things? I forget what the company is called, and maybe there's multiple, but like you buy like a microphone, I'm pretty sure, from them, or maybe it's a speak. I don't remember exactly, but basically it like listens to your room. Yeah, so it's got to be a mic, and it like EQs your room and then feeds you back
Sound
a
ID.
flat. Is it the same?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's that.
And that
shit.
microphone is expensive as fuck.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
How much we talking?
Last I remember, I don't want to say it's $100. I want to say it's upwards of like $300 to $400.
Either way, I mean, that's $100 to my mind is cheap when it comes to equipment.
Yes.
Depends what it is. If it's a cable, okay, that's kind of an expensive cable. Yeah. But it's pretty cool. I mean, do you guys in the studio, like, how have you thought about like acoustic absorption and diffusion?
The whole 9 yards, man. Yeah. We actually, it's very funny. Our ex-professor from SAE, who's part owner of Rackstrack Studios, built our panels.
Who is it?
Andy Shoemaker.
I definitely know that name. I mean, I remember Rackstrack because people would be doing internships there from Columbia. But I never made my way out to the...
Yeah, it's just the irony, you know, small
Did
world.
you work in a studio internship?
Yeah, I did Rackstracks.
You did Rackstracks?
I did Stonecutter too, which...
Do you know Vincenzo?
I do. Yeah.
That's funny as... Yo, shout out Vincenzo Bartolomeo, my boy. Yeah, he worked at Stonecutters.
Okay.
I never did the studio internship, or I
You
did.
Didn't miss anything.
I did for a second.
I was about to say.
I started, I think the place was called Gravity.
Gravity, that's where Wes worked.
Okay, so I was the worst intern. I like started an internship there. I think I was like kind of in between jobs or something. I don't remember why I like couldn't do it, but I remember first day there, they were just like, yeah, like we just need to replace these light bulbs. And I was just like,
some dumb shit.
Is this
like,
gonna be my life?
Why am
just
I here?
doing this? And they're like, no, you'll be able to like fuck around and do stuff on the mixer. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know if I could be the groundling pleb.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I think what it teaches you is the organization. I think that's what they're trying to imprint in your mind is the cleanliness and the organization.
I feel it, but like, I don't really think I needed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I get that.
I get where you're coming from. Because I'm the same boat. It was kind of like, I appreciate this opportunity, but I got nothing out of it. You know? So I get where you're coming from at the same time, but I like to look at every opportunity as like, even if it's negative, a positive outlook. You know? What
I feel this,
what did
like
I take away from it? Yeah, what did I
Yeah.
take away from it at least? I didn't just waste 3 months of my life. Come on. Like
That's the thing too, is even if you do something that you think is kind of a waste of time, like half the time, however long it takes for you to like think about it and gain the knowledge of it, like there are always little tidbits that you're like, oh well, I didn't realize that doing that like helped me realize I don't want to do this.
I mean, even that,
Yeah. So sometimes it's not even about like being like, oh, I found the thing that I love. It's like I found the things that I don't love.
The quite opposite. So let me ask. I got a couple questions. You worked at Gravity. You said that you did the internship.
Literally for like 2 days.
Did they ever like I don't want to say like poach you, but like tell you to bring your people over, like bring your artist over, or was it one of those like...
We didn't even get to that point. I was like literally in the start of the onboarding.
Oh, okay.
Like
So
I didn't
right
even get
peak in the middle.
past.
Okay.
Yeah. But are you saying that some studios do that a little bit?
I think so. Which again, not a bad idea. You're a contractor coming in to fulfill a position. You need to have your own clientele list to service those hours at least. But yeah, I was just curious. Yeah, because that's one thing that I took away, and I don't know if we can keep this on the podcast, but that's one thing I took away.
We don't have to talk about any specific studios, which we've already mentioned. It doesn't matter. This is like, that's what an intern is for.
Yes,
especially as a like an accredited intern. You know, you're there to kind of absorb and learn whatever's happening there.
Yes.
Like it's not, you know that it's an internship.
Yes.
Like you're not getting paid.
Yes.
I mean, most of the time. So like, you kind of have to accept that there is a power dynamic there already, that's just how it is.
Truth.
Yeah. So no shade being thrown.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, that's how I was like,
call out anyone.
I
Whatever.
gotta shut my mouth.
No. So like at your studio, you know, how do you kind of do like a little bit of the business, like booking, and like does that come, like how does someone book through your
So
studio?
there's multiple ways. You can DM us, you can email us, or you can call us. We also have a form on our website, which is also currently in the updates. But yeah, so for those 4 ways you can contact us, and we'll reach out to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's just to stick on the studio thing for a sec, like what's like some goals? Do you have any goals in mind?
Oh yeah.
For
So we want to
specifically for the studio, whether it's like get these new Genelec 6 speakers. Well, I don't know. That's just like a random
we'd like some new
throw out.
gears. Yeah, we want more preamps. Right now we do a lot of hand-in-hand work with at least bigger studios if it comes to, you know, tracking a band, because we don't have the facility to do that quite yet. We'll just do like the small, minute stuff, guitar takes, vocal takes. But I would say preamps for sure. We definitely want to get a new desk. We got one of those like Gator desks. I don't know if you know what that is.
Gator, like the company Gator.
Yeah. And it's shit. So definitely got
Gator.
definitely got to get a new desk. And then our goal is to get either another room or move out. We're located in the music garage, so it can get a little bit noisy from time to time, but
like people will be rocking music in the corner. You're like, dude.
Like right next door, it's not even a studio. It's just this practice room for this dude who works downstairs, and like he'll randomly come up and do drum lessons. But
I was scared you were going to say
drum, straight up drum lessons, and he's like banging on that crap. But it's pretty good. You can't hear it. Like when we do the podcasts and stuff, you can't hear it in the microphone takes. But it's
bro, the podcast, there's sirens going on in the background in my eyes. It's not like a perfect acoustic room. It's
no. But it works. It works, fine. You know. And SM7B, nice close proximity microphone.
Yeah, it'll get.
You got also, a gate. You got a gate on, right?
Yeah. Typically, I got a gate on. Also, dude, I don't know if you've messed around with any of the like AI denoising things.
Not the AI stuff.
Or I don't even know if it's AI. It's just like denoising. But like
I've done some denoising stuff though. Yeah, for sure.
There's this function in DaVinci which we both use. Just a little tip and trick.
Free for platform.
Yeah. But there's so many. I know that like Adobe has one. But just like in DaVinci, you can go in and like take out like background noise. Like
for real.
Which is dope. And but the thing that's nice about it, which I haven't even started using, but I think I should, is you can like, there's like a mix. So you could have like a little bit of it and just take out some of it, because if you go full, a lot of times you get that like gargly, distorted thing going on, like artifact thing. So anyway, I'm just saying, like, again, like you could have your iPhone and just record on that, and that would sound decent.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much AI stuff nowadays, bro, that it's...
Do you utilize that stuff? Because I definitely
House
do.
Sweet House.
What's that?
Part AI. That's the album. That's the album.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a good foray into that. I used the term foray in another conversation. I looked it up yesterday, and it does make sense. I'm always out here using terms, and I'm just like, wait a minute. That might not be right. Let's check that.
Check it. No, I'm with you on that. It's just like you're flowing.
We're going. But yeah, let's talk album. So you said the
House Sweet House. Yeah.
House Sweet House. I mean, I guess just basically like, how did that come to be? What was your thinking about it? I want to talk about the AI aspect for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if we want leeway over there.
Yeah, just leeway. Hell yeah, I like leeway. We gotta use that.
Yeah, so that started about like, I want to say like 6 months ago. You know, I'll make EDM music, but my primary client base isn't EDM artists. It's just what I'm into. So I just kind of accumulated a bunch of tracks over the time, and then finally just put them into the project, and wanted to also utilize AI, I guess techniques, not really like to where I'm taken away from that creative idea, because you know it's a hit or miss with that. You'll get a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't do shit, like, you know, but yeah.
I think we're gonna get farther and farther away from the how much like work did you put into it type of mentality.
Yeah, I mean, even with loops nowadays, bro, it's crazy.
Like, we could talk loops all day. That is a very common topic. Yeah, but so what do you mean by like, oh, like you got lazy with the AI? Like, what are some specific things you're using it for?
So there's a program I think it's called Neutron.
Oh yeah, the isotope.
Yeah. You could essentially put a vocal in there and it creates a good bass start for you to like kind of move off of. So it'll compress your vocal. It'll give it maybe some space. It'll add reverb if you want it, stuff like that. But I use it just mainly for the dynamic and the EQ kind of processing. And then from there, I'll work on my chain. So that definitely helped with doing a lot of the vocal takes. There's this website called TextFX by Google and Ludacris. I don't know if you've heard of that yet.
I haven't.
It's like a ChatGPT, but it doesn't write your entire bars for you. You kind of have to input your idea, and then it can give you like variations off of your idea, like an alliteration or a metaphor, and how does that work in your like A to A, B B rhyme, so on and so forth. So that's another AI. And then obviously we used a lot of ozone. I think a lot of ozone was used.
I feel like the isotope stuff, like the ozone one is like the mastering assistant.
Yeah, again, a good bass starter for.
I think you can analyze a track, gives you a bass, and you can adjust it from there. That's like low level cheating.
Yes, exactly.
I wouldn't even call it cheating.
I'm gonna call it cheating because I know that's what people will call it. But to me, it's like when you think of EDM music, you think of technology. I mean, think about it. We came from vinyls, and then from vinyls you went to the original 90s CDJ, and then from there you went to laptop mixers in the 2000s, and now we're at like these like multifaceted like giant mixers now. So it's just like, it's really, to me, it's technology. It's gonna enhance, like you said, we're gonna get to a point that we're doing less but doing more at the same time. Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be people that use it really lazily, that it's like it's already like not that, like if someone just like plops out a graphic design made by DALL-E 3 or Mid Journey, you're like, yeah, it's cool. But like, if someone was doing that and claiming it kind of as their own work, I'd be like, Some people don't know. Like my grandma would be like, "Oh, that's cool." Like I don't know what that is in the first place, and okay, like you made that, cool.
Exactly.
But like people that are savvy to it would just be like, that's cool. Like I don't know. So anyway, I think that people are already kind of like understanding it a little bit.
It's one of those things. It's not gonna go away.
No, for sure. So are those the main, like, was there any ideas about AI and technology in the lyric writing, but not like the actual technique to get it? Because you were talking about that, but like, does it talk about some of the technology?
It's all about love.
Okay.
All about love and passion and, yeah, that's about it. Stereotypical house music,
And what I noticed on your page, you got rid of a lot of your stuff, and it's like I
recycle.
You recycle. So I don't see. I'm the opposite. Where I get you want people to see like your best stuff, right? But I also do feel like there is a thing where you can see the lineage of the growth. Like, his shit looks way better now. So are you in the camp where it's like, let's just reset? This is what I got for you right now.
Kind of. When I do a project, I call it a light reset. I archive everything, and then maybe, a month after the tape's been out and there's a bunch of stuff about the stuff, I'll unarchive everything and bring everything back. So you'll be able to go through that whole scroll process. But my kind of point with that is, again, back to marketing. It's like, I could show you that I do all this, or I could just show you that I do this. And then it's kind of like, if I gave you 3 options, you're more likely to pick the middle one than you are the first one or the last one. Same thing in that sense, just kind of direct marketing, making sure that that's being marketed, and then bringing everything back once it's done its job, and then kind of showcasing from there. Same with the recycling, the new fans that came in from the house music might not know that I did a all-female project 2 years ago. So I'll recycle that, kind of bring that back up. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like it is like nice that you're just making it real nice and clean and cleanly for people to not be distracted. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what's like the right option.
There
But
is no right. There is no right.
I don't think there's a right,
There is
but
no right.
it is interesting when I see people, they got like 3 posts. I'm like, oh shit, these 3 posts must be pretty important.
Yes, yeah. And then you click on all 3, you know, and you're like, what's going on here? So
Yeah,
this guy's got this many followers and 3 posts. What the fuck? Like,
So the album comes out Friday of
February 2nd.
February 2nd. This podcast will come out
Whenever.
so like if you're listening to it, it's out, and it's only been hopefully, you know,
A
like
week,
few
2
days-
weeks.
yeah, like a week or something. So definitely go check it out. But also let's listen to a track.
Yeah, hell yeah. Listen to your favorite one.
I don't know, I'm gonna let you decide.
Jeez, you said you are an EDM fan?
Yes.
Because there's some like hard hitting tracks in there that I think that are just like people won't go for.
There's some ones where it's like, I think the first track, I believe, is like more like that, like Cllctd bounce type of deal.
Yeah, which
Cllctd.
I like to think that's where a lot of people like house. You know, it's that like kind of slight introduction to that. And then as you go on, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper.
It gets like more quantized, more
yeah.
house.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we listen to the first track then.
Yeah, run it.
Yeah, it's got that, but don't boom. It's got a little swing in the bass. And I mean the chords.
I love
too.
those fucking chords, bro. It's funny, this track actually wasn't supposed to be on.
Really?
Long story.
We'll talk about it.
That sounds nice in these. Yeah.
Those headphones, those are like my first headphones, and like they always make the bass like,
It's perfect. It's not too much.
yeah, they're pretty flat.
I would say the song is bass heavy.
Why does the vocals sound like something I know?
Could be.
They're like Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Sri Lanka. Yep, that's it. So the only track on the album that doesn't have sampled vocals or AI vocals, I'd like to call it, is T-Stars, which is track 4.
Vocals have nice space.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like vocals, like, it's just real. You gotta just be real subtle with it.
Subtle on house, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you just don't want it to sound too like verbed out. Then you're just like, ugh. Yeah, I like this a lot. That like droning.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's actually an ARP.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah, it's just it's got sidechain to it, so that's why it comes in and out. Yeah,
that's cool. But yeah, man, that was really cool. Like,
appreciate it.
Whole vibe, great vibe.
Thank you.
You mentioned while we were listening to it, like that there was like an AI vocal element. And
yes.
I'm curious what you mean by that. Are you doing like the changer?
The type to text.
Oh.
Yeah, type to text changer. That's actually track 2 and track. It's called Gotta Uber. Did that with Tyler Blossom. We just got like, it's this chick just saying, gotta Uber, got an Uber. That's literally the whole fucking song, but it's like OG house style music, Chicago style house. Yeah.
And just to clarify, just for myself, like, do you mean like you're generating the voice?
Yeah, you're generating the voice, layering it, doing different pitches to it, different tones to it, and then throwing effects over it. Yeah.
Have you done where you actually like take a vocal and then change the voice of it?
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Track 2, actually. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, I've been thinking about, there's so many things you could do. Like, I could do a whole podcast where we sound like you're Ed Sheeran and I'm like Dua Lipa or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It would just be interesting. Like, oh yeah, it's not us. Like,
there's some marketing that they're doing. They're like not showing their face, and they do that like type to text thing, and it's kind of crazy to me that that'll blossom out, you know. But then, like you said, why are people making the "This Is Who I Am" videos, and that'll blossom out? So again, it's like,
yeah, there's kind of two camps. I mean, there's probably more camps, but there's a lot of faceless accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Is what they like, or at least what I've seen them called.
Dead mouse before dead mouse.
What is, or like not even just wearing a mask.
Oh, you're
like
saying
literally just
straight up black, like nothing.
Well, it's like that there's really like the person doesn't use their voice. It's all like generated whatever, like
Type to
speech.
text.
Yeah. And then, you know, a lot of the like content is like generated too.
Mhm.
So it's like a whole generative thing, and then there's just someone behind the scenes who's like maybe even automating all of it and just like, it's crazy. I mean, you could make a whole channel automated and just get views. I mean, it's just
views.
It's wild.
Literally. That's kind of partially what I'm going to take for the marketing for this. Just like making a bunch of different like variations of the same thing, and then using them on different platforms, and then maybe doing like a Google Pixel or something like that, see which works the best. But yeah, I'm gonna try that out myself, with hopefully see if that works. And then the other side of it, I did a bunch of skits. So I'll do stuff like that. I don't know if I can talk about that yet, though.
We don't have to talk about it if we can.
Wait till that comes out. So.
Keep your eyes peeled. I was curious, why house? Are you from Chicago?
I'm not.
Did you grow up in? No.
You know McHenry County?
I've heard of McHenry. Where is this?
You know where Woodstock is?
It's in Illinois.
Yeah, like 15 minutes away from the border of Wisconsin.
Gotcha.
A little bit west.
But you live in Illinois and you live in Chicago.
Yeah. I've been down here for 6 years now, so I'd like to say this is home base now.
I feel like what happens, and at least it happened with me, is like you move to Chicago. I'm from the suburbs. Live here for like 6 or so years, and then all of a sudden you're like, I gotta make some house music. No,
okay. I was about to say. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a huge trend here. I think it's definitely gonna be hot this year. I mean, you have Drake coming out with the house music. Who else did? Ariana Grande just dropped. Beyonce just did her thing. So it's definitely gonna become a thing.
Well, it's already a thing in Chicago for sure, but you're talking more
universal.
Yeah,
I think for this year's agenda, if that makes sense.
When you say agenda, it sounds a little sinister, but it probably is.
It is, man. Like, think about it. A lot of people are dropping similar stuff. Like, yeah, they're all independent artists, but they're all answering to somebody, and that somebody is like, this is what's gonna make the money.
Well, I feel like the wave before this was like Doja Cat doing like Say So and like Kiss Me more, and like that was more along the like funk, and like now we've kind of done the natural progression where it's like funk. I mean, I guess house music comes from like Motown more so, but like funk to house makes sense. That might be the next kind of I mean, people are doing techno too, like that's kind of the other side. There's a lot of things going on at once for sure. But you feel that house.
I think house will be some sort of standpoint this year for sure.
So in making the album, is that something you think about, or is it something that
this is the first time that I've actually thought about that specific thing? When I did the all-female EP 2 years ago, it just so happened to be that there was a bunch of like, and I gotta watch my step here because it's very touchy, but I don't want to call them like feminists, but there was like a really, really like big girl movement at the time So that just hit off right. But this is like the first time that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pre-predict, and I think this will happen.
So you're trying to use those muscles to pre-predict.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the She EP, right? S.H.E.
Sophisticated harmonized expression.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. And what was kind of we'll get back to the house album, but since we were talking about this, I just want to highlight it. What was kind of the thought about that one?
I'm a man coming into make an all-female EP, you know, so I was walking on a lot of glass the whole time, but I think the girls that I've worked with were super helpful with all of that, and I linked with a female engineer named Cllctd, and she helped a lot with kind of making them comfortable coming into the studio as well. You know, I'm reaching out as a guy, so yeah.
Did you run into that whole... I mean, was there a lot of not headbutting, but just friction in terms of being a guy producer and working with females? And
no, I didn't. No. If there was, I didn't feel it. I think the friction was making sure they feel engaged in the project, if that makes sense. It was my first initial studio project, so I was kind of learning myself, but that's one thing I think I took away from it, is that I didn't incorporate everybody as well as they probably could have been. But no, it was just more so how I approached the project. How do I talk about it? You know, I got to walk on glass with that. And then all the interviews we did, what are the questions that I should ask? Or we did also one with what's the word .tv, and he asked a bunch of questions, and it was kind of where do I step in as a man to answer some of these, so it was just stuff like that. But it was seamless. Again, the girls were super lovely, everybody was super helpful, and it was a good project.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a good exercise, because you also have the whole stereotype where guy producer, female vocalist, and there's a lot of weirdness that happens there.
You'd be surprised. A lot of the stories these girls told me, and walking in the studios, and they'll be yeah, they didn't charge me, but they wanted to sleep with me, and that's how I get the track. And I was just what the fuck? That's a thing? That's real, So I was just within that, I was damn, I felt inspired to also do this project even more, just based on what they were saying. But yeah, it was whoa.
Yeah, I'm never walking into studios trying to get slept with. What the fuck?
What the fuck? Exactly. You're just
what the hell, man? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, you get two dudes in the studio, and it's just borderline autistic. I'm sorry. This is just funny. There's this meme. The only reason I say that, it's there's this meme where it's that show, Dating on the Spectrum.
Yeah.
And it's just this guy, he's walking, and he's well, I guess we are both autistic. And it's this is bad. I'm going to get canceled, but I don't give a shit. And it's someone just put over that two producers meeting up.
Oh, God.
And it's yeah, dudes can get so just specific about tech and gear and just this and that. And maybe that's a thing for women as well, but it's definitely more of a thing for guys. Just getting down and dirty with whatever.
It's a male industry right now, unfortunately. That's just how it is. But you'll find people within that, and that's why I also support people like Cllctd, girl engineers, stuff like that. It's a huge move, and it's a huge step, not just for the industry, but also for them. So
yeah, no, that's cool. I'm glad we went over that really quick, because that was what did you say, your leeway? I was saying for it. That was your first leeway into studio
projects, yeah.
But we'll get back to the house album. Yeah, just want to know a little bit more about just ideas.
Yeah.
In what's the plan for release, specific.
Yeah.
Are we doing singles? Are we doing
whole album?
Just whole album.
11 tracks.
Swap
February
it out.
2nd, midnight. Yeah.
Release party shows,
possibly private release party, I think, at the studio, which I'll invite people like you and a couple DJs around the city to come through and just maybe do something small there. And then there was again, talk, can't really say right now, a possible music video release party for T-Star's music video, hopefully at Juggernaut. And then I'm, again, can't...
What you can say and what you can't. Yeah, for sure.
But I should have some shows coming up. I'll let you know. I don't know if you'd want to put it in there. It should be at the Listening Room, and then also hopefully the Red Room. So we'll try to get those locked in. But
can we keep that in, or do we want that edited out? Is it?
Come back to me.
We'll think about it.
Come back to me. Yeah.
Bookmark.
Because my kind of point with that is I just got a. I wouldn't call her my manager, but she reached out to me. She's like, hey, like I really want to get into music stuff. And I was like, hey, I need a booking person. You know, I have a bunch of connects. I just need somebody to take care of that schedule for me. And I'll cut you in on a percentage from the shows. And she was like, oh yeah, so I'll take that. So whatever she books first essentially is up to her at this point. I'm kind of letting her decide that. And then from there, I'm just going to back end and do it.
And is this a self-released project?
Yes, fully self-released.
Do you have like a record label? So I mean, I know like on DistroKid, they're like, make a record. Like,
yeah, no. Like you could call Blue Door LLC. Like I'm shuffling all the publishing into that, but yeah, it's a independent release.
Gotcha.
Fingers crossed.
Do you ever do any work on like, or think about the prospect of being kind of a record label?
Yeah,
putting on other people?
I think next year I'll lean into that. I've worked with a few people who have had ties to that, and it's always a headache. Like it's never seamless or easy as like being an independent. You know, you get to choose all your stuff. You get to plan the album cover art. You get to do the artistic side of your album versus like just creating that, and then they do everything else for your process because they think that's how it's going to work best, and they're investing into it, and they have the overhead and the say so, you know, the Pinocchio hands. But we'll see. I think next year I'll try to do that. I think that's going to be a thing. Maybe not record label, maybe just like signing with a publishing company, but we'll see.
Yeah. So you're kind of saying that like the labels, you've seen situations where it's like you don't really get to have your full artistic freedom.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I think the
who? No, I'm just kidding. Like who? Tell me. No.
Yeah, I could tell you a little.
We don't have to out anyone. I was just
Okay.
fucking around. But like I haven't had the experience of someone being like, "Yo, like I love this track, but like the album art, we got to change that." Because I'd be like,
why?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
No one even cares
about that. Yeah, no, that's a thing for them. That's a thing from the even like what you wear in the picture for the cover. They're down to like that kind of point, and then on the back end side of things, like just making sure everything's legit. Like, did you create everything from scratch? Like, they really hound down on that. Copyright issues, I'm assuming, and stuff like that. But it's just a headache. It's just a headache, you know?
Yeah, totally. No, it is a headache. There was something I wanted to say about that. Record label, something. Oh, yeah. Like, if you were to do Blue Door LLC, whatever record label, maybe you could make a separate record label. Like,
Yeah.
would you feel like you have to do those same things to cover your ass? I mean, maybe on the copyright end, that's just like standard. You have to
we
do that.
we still do that. So I take care of like the copywriting. We'll do the publishing, BMI or ASCAP, whatever people use. We'll do the royalty splits, Song Trust. We have a subscription with them, stuff like that.
That's how you do it, Song Trust? Because I don't even know. I haven't really done any splits.
Yeah, Song Trust. Well, Song Trust is again, I gotta look at my notes for this, but there's mechanical, and then there's live, like live take, live sound, radio, so on and so forth. There's a whole spectrum.
Right.
And those two companies kind of take care of both. Like, I'm not sure which one does what. That's kind of where I'm like,
yeah. No, I mean, it's like feels purposely confusing. There's so many different companies.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could just have DistroKid or whatever distributor that you're using, and then not sign up for like BMI or ASCAP.
Yeah, you could just do distro and do nothing. But
you're not going to be collecting all of your royalties.
It really depends, because like, let's say you're a small artist, you're not really going to have royalties anywhere else. Are you shuffling your music over to DJs, and are they playing it live? If not, you're not really gonna have any royalties anywhere else. Stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, DistroKid's the one that I know, but I'm pretty sure that there is like a wing or an option to put it on whatever Beatport.
Yeah, Beatport.
So like,
stuff.
so that could lead into I forget what it's called. Yeah, but when it's played out live.
Truth. That's actually a good question. I'd like to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fans, though.
Someone tell us.
Is
We're
Beatport
dumb.
is Beatport worth the add-on?
I know it definitely was.
Yes, it was. I just now it's kind of like there's stuff. I think once you upload to iTunes is now tied to something that automatically sends your music out to a platform that people can grab it on. So I just don't know anymore. I know it was, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, that is it. Like, it's always like iTunes, like, how much do you want to price your track?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, that's like a whole, like, we got to talk to like a fucking guy who does this.
Yes.
If we want to really get into that. But I just was curious, like, what your privy was.
No, of course.
Yeah. I guess the album, like, maybe we could listen to another track. One thing actually I wanted to ask you, because we were talking about the last track, just to cover this. You said that track almost didn't make it.
Yes.
Onto the album. Why is that?
So Ellen the Official, ATO, I don't know if you know him, artist, he was actually originally going to take the track and put it on his either do a single or a project, but he ended up going a different route. So then I took that track. And that track actually didn't have those vocals on it. And I was like, this is bare bones. It needs something. So I was like, let me go find a sample or something that works. That's, yeah. And that vocal on there is copyright free.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, all right, bet.
Let's grab it. Yeah. Wait, how does that even work if you're like generating stuff? Is that copyright free? I mean, I would assume.
Yeah. As long as you're not signing a record label deal and you're independent and you're underneath a certain amount of streams. Again, I don't know the number. I think it's like 500,000 or 100,000. You're okay. You're fine. Once you get past that, I think you have to like reach out to the original like maker and then ask, is it okay if, well, at that point, he's not going to say no. You'll just tie him into the royalties.
It's all just like a fucking crapshoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally if someone wants to try to get money out of something that they claim they have some stake in,
yes,
maybe they will.
Yes.
But maybe they also won't even know that it exists.
Yes. And then it's like a whole nother hard thing once you take a copyright free thing, put it in a song, and then copyright that song. Because you just took
added another layer.
Yeah. So technically it's like it's yours in that variation. So it's like, it's really fishy too. It's really like fine line, like what is and what isn't. I mean,
it's like a whole person's job to just care about these things.
Yes. Yeah. It's usually a lawyer. You usually hire a lawyer and he'll do it.
Yeah.
Entertainment lawyer.
But like young producer in his home studio.
Oh yeah. No clue. No freaking
Not
clue.
Gonna
using Looper Man like it's toilet paper, dude.
Not paying for a lawyer, like no chance. But yeah, it's interesting. The other thing I wanted to just say is like, you know, before we get into a track, we'll get into a track. But like, you know, this is a solo, or it's not a solo project, but it's like being released under you. And I was curious kind of how you balance releasing your own music and doing the Blue Door stuff.
It's hard, bro. It's super hard. I've gotten to a point that I've had to have more people associated with me specifically to kind of fine line that. Because I mean, just from like the outreach of shows, getting the project ready, doing the music videos, I'm also over here still outreaching to artists to produce for them. I'm still working on projects with artists that are coming through, and it's definitely a headache. It's definitely a headache for both. And then to throw Blue Door in there and then our personal brand Cllctd in there, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I want to talk about Cllctd too. But like, yeah, I mean, do you feel
overwhelmed?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is just you get to a point where you really need to hire people. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
If you want to grab that.
Did I drop?
But I get it. We were talking about how like making your like portfolio reel type of thing it's a thing, what's also a thing is like people quitting YouTube. And I heard someone talking about it that's just like, you get further and further away. I'm going to say it was Marcus Brownlee. I respect him. He's cool. He was saying, you know, like a lot of these people, his take was that they're getting further and further away from the core thing that they set out to do, which is fine. You get new opportunities, you know, you do the rally thing and it's like, that's cool. Like I didn't expect to do that, but it takes you away from maybe the core thing you wanted to do. Yeah. And at a certain point, you really do need to get more hands involved. So yeah, I mean, I was just curious, like, you know. No,
it makes sense. I get that too. Like I used to, before my music days, I used to vlog every day, go home, edit the vlog, upload it that night, repeat process, wake up, vlog, edit, do it again. And it got to a point that you're like, you also find yourself living behind the camera versus in front of the camera, if that makes sense.
Like feeling like you need to capture everything
every moment, because on an editor's perspective, you need so much to play around with. You know what I mean? Like if you only have 2 to 3 things and neither are good, you're kind of like, well, SOL, you know, versus having 6 different scenes or takes. But
yeah, you need more takes. You need some B-roll for like just throwing in there and an intro, whatever. So you don't do the vlogging as much. I mean, you still stay. I could see why you did vlog, or not why you did vlogging, but like that you did that, because it kind of seems like you're good in front of a camera. Like you'll just be like, hey, what's up? It's me, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing this. Or like, yo, go do this, like, because it's cool. Or, do you feel like that helped you be natural in front of a camera?
Yeah. It's really tough because like a lot of people ask, like, did you ever have fear of putting yourself out on public? You know, I think that more so would be the pinnacle
like question.
Yeah, like and I never really did, so I never really struggled with that. So I like to rebuttal to your question. It was kind of like it never helped me in a sense, but it made me understand like lighting, you know, or like placement, or what does look good, what does look bad. Then again, that also comes with learning the camera and stuff. Like I did those, I'd call them the Sir Trevor James shows, where I'd have like artists come in and stuff like that. And like sometimes I'll record a whole session and then I'll realize after the camera was fucked, and I'm just like, fuck, like, because when they come in,
it's happened to me before.
Because when they come in, it's not about
like checking to make sure we're recording.
Well, that's the difference. So like this is a podcast that was more so just like me recording what's going on in the room, kind of like how you were talking about you did during COVID. But
that's also like, I've done things like that where it's like you just record stuff and then you kind of have to like figure out how to edit that, and it's like tough sometimes. You're like, where are the bits? Also, if you record for like 5 hours or something, huge file size, like you got to find and think about where the moments were that you want to grab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I stopped doing that. Unfortunately, it was just like so long of edits, but it's cool. You know, it was fun.
No, it was cool. I remember watching it and being like, this is cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the vlogging thing, just to like talk about that too, is like something where what we were talking about before, where it's like you did something, didn't realize maybe how it helped you until later. Later. Oh wait, that actually, now I'm cool with that kind of stuff. Yeah. Word. Well, let's play another track. I kept saying that we're gonna do that. Don't want to lie to the people, but yeah, out of these, what should we play? Maybe like a different vibe.
Let's go deeper. You got 007s?
All right, we're gonna run this one. Ooh, I like that, like filtered, just housey break thing.
Yeah. Shout out No Dot Mad.
I love a good filtered things like chilling in the background.
Think of like James Bond and house music.
You could make a really cool like 007 intro thing with this, like visuals.
Same with this track though. This was one where I took vocal samples, but I took just enough that I can't get copyrighted.
Yeah.
So it's played with that too.
Nice. Is this Missy?
Fergie?
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
Like pitch down.
Yeah.
I really love this percussion. That like little.
Yeah, yeah.
That bass line's hot too.
Oh yeah. I think it's my favorite part. Like the bass line out of the whole track.
Yeah. That's always the hard part is you like get the track and you're like, all right, now we gotta make a slapping bass line. Yeah, like that's hard for me. That sounds like some like garbled guitar.
Yeah, it's got like 6 different effects on it.
Word. Is it a guitar?
Yeah, yeah. Camilla, that's her name. She played.
Word.
Some people said the guitar makes them lose rhythm.
In a track?
Yeah, so it's kind of like contradicted about.
Nah. I think it's cool to have stuff that's not necessarily
Like a top.
in it that's perfectly on rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's groovy.
That's housey.
Yeah, like that one's, it's funky, but it's more on grid to me than the last one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and throwing that little vocal in there is nice. Yeah, that was real. I like that's just like a solid solid track.
So
Yeah.
you said you had mentioned that you create the track and then you get a bass line. What's your go-to like way to create a track?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I don't know, with house music, I think
Just in general. Like you sit down, you're at your computer, what do you start with?
yeah, I think normally I start with chords.
Okay.
Because if I can get like a solid chord structure, everything else feels like fairly easy.
You can follow.
Like like I know, I don't know, like it really helps me. I think that might be the hardest part.
Okay.
Which seems counterintuitive because then I'll get really tripped up on the chords. Sometimes I'll
As
be like,
you're moving along.
Yeah, like sometimes it'll completely stunt my like
Is that because
ability.
Is that because you have like a vision, like after you've worked on it, now you kind of have a better vision of where you want to take it, and where you want to take it isn't really working with the chords, or is it more so like it's not matching?
It could be that. It could be that, or it's just like I just struggle to get the exact chords that I want because like I'm just not super skilled at that.
Okay.
Like I have like some, I know some music theory, but I'm not like, oh, like I can go
Magic.
and just play
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is, and these sound great and cool. Normally I feel like though I can make some like pretty basic chords and then make some really interesting like variations, like bass lines or like melodies, like counter melodies and stuff like that make it so the basic chords are not like
as lame.
Like they don't
is what you're
seem
saying.
lame. Yeah. Or sometimes though I'll like focus too much on the chords and make them really like do a bunch of like slash chords and like weird shit that I'm like, okay, this is cool, but then I'll just like spend too much time. But yeah, then I'll like generally put drums in.
So chords, drums,
and then like even if I'm making like a hip hop track or like a dance track, which are like the two things I mainly do, then I'll put a bass line in. And then from there, I kind of just audition what I like want to keep in there. And maybe if I like made a cool bass line and then want to redo the chords, I might do that.
Okay.
Grab some samples. That's kind of
That's the structure.
That's kind of how I do it. Yeah,
I'm always curious about. I don't have a way. That's why I'm always curious about. It's
different every time.
Yeah, it really is. Like house music, I'll usually start with the chord structure. Trap music, I'll usually start with the drum and the bass. We can go like old boom bap style. It's all about the drums, stuff like that. So,
like the swing. Yeah, that's actually. So when I do make like real like swung ass like hip hop beats, I will start with the drums a lot as well. It kind of depends. There's a million ways to skin the cat.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for like that one, I guess. How do you remember how?
So that one started with a sample from, his name is Poducer Suburb. Liked it. I wanted him to tweak it a little more, so he did that like Ableton, that stack thing that we talked about. And turned it into like I don't even know what he turned it into. Either way, we took that sample, he added that in the track, then No Dot Mad ended up playing that bass line underneath it, and we were like, "Well, this is fucking solid."
That shit was groovy.
Yeah. So we took the sample out, and then we essentially built everything around the bass line, and that's where that started.
Okay. I wanted to know like what's like some go-to gear that you like, whether it is outboard gear, like physical gear, or just plugins.
We'll start with the outboard gear. This is one of them. SM7B, man. This is
for vocals.
Yeah, dude. Like even I've had my hands on some tube mics that are like really expensive, and sometimes it's just like this is home. This is warm. This is good. It really depends on who you're recording, but
I even like I have a 58.
58s are nice too.
I mean, it just sounds good.
It's good.
I have like a MXL China condenser mic.
Okay.
That's like $100. I mean, I don't know, I think it's from China, and like it sounds crispy.
It's not always about the price, but I think it's really about like your choice and style of sound. But yeah, that, and then when I had my hands on it, the LA2A or 1176. Oh, anything. You can put drums, vocals, like that. Those compressors are just crazy.
Do you like the emulations, like the UAD? I mean, there's like a Waves as an emulation.
Yeah, we have those. I just like, there's a different feeling about analog stuff, Like I get it. They're the same sounds and stuff. It's really different to have your hands on. You're actually doing it. It's like putting up the fader on the mixer board versus like clicking your mouse and moving the mixer fader up. So just stuff like that.
It's more intentional too, and you're kind of working within like the thing that you have. Like it takes time to route it to the compressor, so it's like, all right, well, we might as well use this to its like full advantage. Yeah,
exactly. So there's those outboard gear. We'll go internally now. I like a lot of stock FL plugins. I think those are slept on very, very much. And then I'm a big Waves guy. And then let's go VSTs. FL Studio added this new thing called Flex. It's pretty legit. It's like if you took a Logic sound bank and put it in a VST, and that's what they did, their own thing. And then Serum. I like Serum.
Gotcha. Do you remember what the bass was for that track?
It was either Vital or Serum.
Yeah, Vital's big.
Yeah, it was either Vital or Serum. It was one of those two.
Okay.
Because we were messing with the mod wheel on the LFO. I don't know if you hear it like coming in and out. That's all.
Definitely in the breakdown.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
that's the best. Yeah. I don't know which one it was.
I was thinking it was going to go into like some bass house for a second with that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was straight house. That and the track before that I think are like the Chicago style houses. And then as you go on, like I said, it gets deeper. Like the next one I think is like progressive house, and then you get to like a big room house, and then after that it's like a mix of like, it's like reggaeton and house music, really kind of shoved in one.
You're talking about going through the album. These are kind of the different styles.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have a couple different questions. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go. I mean, one thing I wanted to ask you was about inspirations.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to talk both like here and now or whatever. I don't know what the phrase is. I'm an idiot. Like people that you really looked up to for inspiration when you were coming up, first learning stuff, and people who are doing stuff now that like you just think are really cool.
Okay, yeah, we can start with the come up. Martin Garrix, Skrillex, those are their first initial. I really liked when Diplo and Skrillex got together and made Jack U.
Jack U was sick.
Yeah, that was sick. I wish they'd do more of that, unfortunately, but
yeah, me
whatever.
too. No, I mean Jack U, like that whole album was really exciting.
Raw, it was just raw. And then, as funny as it is, Cascade was a huge.
Isn't Cascade a Chicago guy?
I don't know.
Or am I thinking of someone else?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cascade, Tiesto. He was a big guy. And then my first, like, just to kind of throw it in there, crossover to the other music was when A$AP Rocky did the collaboration with Skrillex. That was the first time I heard
Wild
rap.
for the Night.
That was the first time I heard rap. Like, I didn't even know what the fuck rap was. That's when I went down that way. But now it's probably just Mr. Rubin, dude. Like, dude's a boss.
Mr. Rubin, I'm not familiar.
Am I saying his name wrong? Big ass beard.
What does he make?
He doesn't make anything. That's the thing.
You're talking about yeah, what the hell is his first name?
I've always called him Mr. Rubin.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Is it
yeah,
Rick?
Yeah, Rick Rubin.
Is it Rick Rubin?
There we go.
Rick
God,
Rubin.
my brain. But yeah, Rick Rubin's like a genius producer, but like he doesn't necessarily
do anything.
Yeah, it's like, does Rick Rubin do anything, or is he just like a philosopher?
I think he's just a
and
philosopher.
Like a good vibe. Like people are just like, I just like him. He's like got like a good vibe.
Yeah.
He's also just like when you're, like all the artists are like, oh, like taking the selfie, like, oh, I'm with Rick Rubin.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing his like podcast or some shit. Like, I mean, he's definitely a really insightful guy, and I think that he does know what he's doing.
Oh yeah, to an extent. He's got to know.
Not trying to roast him.
No, he's got to know. It was funny because like you had the huge argument when DJ Khaled first initially came out, and he was like, I don't do anything, and they're like, a bunch of people gave him shit for that, and then years later you have this dude come out saying like, yeah, I don't even know music theory.
yeah, and he's just like, he's literally just a facilitator of people getting down to the things that they want to make.
Exactly.
That's like how I look at him. He's like a good guy to just. He's like a coach.
Yeah, you could say that.
But like a guru type where he'll like ask you questions that aren't very pointed and you have to like think about it. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel like his approach is.
Like yeah, no, you hit it on the head.
Have you read his book?
I have not yet.
Yeah. I have it on tape. I need to listen to it.
I hear it's good.
Yeah, lady, go lay down. Go lay down. She's like, why won't you guys play with me?
Yeah.
Cool. So any like artists that you're like we talked about how the first track, like Cllctd,
you can throw Martin Garrix in there. Pharrell Williams. I think he's a pretty solid producer artist. I looked up a lot in the past to Hit Boy. I don't know if you know who that is.
I've heard his name.
He did a lot with. I first found out about him when he did a lot with G-Eazy. I know, a horrible album to listen to and get notes off of, but yeah, it's very vague, man. Like I don't think I have like a go-to artist right now. I like a lot of old stuff, the 2012, 2015, just coming into it, when swimming pools came out and like all that stuff. I like listening to that. It's funny, I'll make EDM music, but I'll listen to rap music.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
There was something else there that I wanted to ask. Lady, can you go lay down? I know. Get down. Get off me. Word. Well, I mean, I guess, oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to ask was, were there any specific artists that you were, or like songs maybe even, that you were using as like references or like?
Yeah. So obviously you heard Cllctd in the first one. I was using Got It Good for that one. The Big Room House, a couple things by Chainsmokers and Alesso. Did I say his name right? Alesso?
Yeah.
Alesso. Let's see what else there was. Kind of and Oliver Heldens was a big idol for this album for sure. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I think everything else kind of started from an idea.
In terms of like mixing and mastering, do you do all of that yourself? Do you hand it off to someone?
Mix of both. If I did a lot of the engineering work, I'll normally hand it off for somebody else to do the mastering. Yeah, a little bit mix of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which we do at Blue Door, by the way.
You do mastering
We do
and
mastering.
mixing?
Yeah, we do both.
Okay. Just in case y'all want something mastered. What are your fees? No, I'm just kidding. You can go look them up. So okay, we can talk. We'll listen to another track in a minute, but I wanted to talk about Cllctd.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
So it's a lifestyle brand started by a buddy of mine, and then his buddy, who's actually one of the artists I produce for, he was like, hey, we got this brand, thinking you'd enjoy it, yada yada yada. And we started kind of honing in 2020, survived COVID, made a profit during COVID, as crazy as it sounds, and then from there just kept leveling up the quality and of our gear, essentially, you know, because it is just kind of like the brand splatted on a blank, but you know, we've sourced the fabric, we've sourced, you know, where it's made. Not everything is made in America, thankfully, but it's been a process. We'll do like pop-up shops. We not recently, in the previous years, did like music shows just because that was accustomed to me and the other guy, Joey and Amin, and then we have like Sajid and Omar, and the list goes on. But yeah, it's again, I think it's the kind of same thing with Blue Door. We're in the kind of same boat. How do we market? You know, what are we marketing towards? And I think we're marketing more now towards like lifestyle and fitness, and kind of collaborating both of those. You know, a lot of people are wearing baggy stuff. Yeah.
So mainly a clothing brand. Do you guys make any other products?
Yeah. Like I said, we'll do rugs, blankets, pillows, coffee mugs. You can think of it as like a Kith or a Supreme or one of those types of brands, but not as luxury. We like to, I know it's not something we like to preach, but we like to preach, or it's not something we like to preach, but I like to preach it, is we're a luxury brand for middle class. We source the same fabric that Supreme does from the same dealer that Supreme gets it from, and we sell it for 50% less. So it's just like giving quality goods for a reasonable price. Yeah.
What's goal wise? I'm always asking about goals, but like what is what's kind of like the idea? Like what are you trying to achieve
reach
with it? Yeah, like I know that you were talking about like, you know, bringing affordability to like, you know, high-end stuff.
Yeah.
Like goals in terms of like events or like things that you're trying to do with it.
Yeah, so we actually we have a pop-up shop happening literally across the street from Supreme over St. Patty's Day weekend. We'll be there from Friday to, I think we're doing Sunday. We'll have like a giveaways going on. There is also we're going to be like 50-50 with a, like, his name's Old Teriyaki. He's like a thrifter. So it's like half thrift store, half like the new merch. That's something that we got coming up. We'll have like a little party and event for that as well. We'll like close the store down and, you know, have some fun. So that's one thing. And then literally every month we do pop-ups at like Illinois Vintage Fest, Sneaker Con, you know, so on and so forth. We'll get in any avenue we can essentially and try to do that. But the bigger picture, I think, is honing more down on our drops, doing more critique crazy things. Like one we have coming up is we've thrifted over the last, I think, year and a half, just like old vintage made in America crew necks, like the old ones. And then we're gonna do this like whole drop on it, like time waits for no one, you know, essentially kind of tying in the old to the new, and yeah, giving it a little bit of a story and building up the drops versus just like, this is our fall drop, you know, like this is something now. So yeah.
Yeah. How involved are you with like the logistics of like planning where the drops are, like, you know, planning like, yeah, like these pop-ups?
I'm pretty in. Joey is a little bit more the head guy, as you know. Amin and I have a lot going on with our own things, but we're there to help out in any way we can. You know, it's another startup, so we're doing everything possible. Any opportunity we get, we're trying to take it. Not anything, but you know what I mean. Like,
but you're at the. I hate to say like the ground floor, because you could literally always think that you're at the ground floor.
Yes.
Even at a high level.
At a high level, yes.
Which is, you know, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's like, you know, like the podcast, for example, it's like we're like just starting.
Yeah, but to me,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, but it's like there's just starting, like I just started my page, or like there's just starting, like we're just getting going, and then there's like different.
You found your rhythm. So
yeah. There's like I mean, I feel like it might just be that philosophical thing where it's like, I know that I know nothing type of deal. It's like that same philosophy almost. But yeah, no, it is. I feel like, you know, I don't know how old you are, but we're like a similar-ish age that you're
24.
Just like, okay, so I am a bit older than you. I'm 29.
All my friends are like 29, 30, 32 years old, as weird as it sounds.
But it does feel like in this like age range, it's like everyone's like starting something. It's pretty rare that you come across someone who's really like established at this point. Yeah.
Which is funny to me, because you have a lot of artists that are like, I might be, you know, speaking out of terms, but they're trying so hard, you know, and it's kind of like, you don't even know who you are yet. You know, from at least from your perspective and mine, it's kind of like, you've been doing this for how long now, and you're kind of like still telling me like, I'd like to try this, I'd like to try that, you know. So at that point, you're still moving forward towards something, and I think a lot of people get stuck in their heads with like, this needs to happen now for me to be successful, or this needs to be in the right place at the right time, and that has little truth to it, but it's really just work, bro. Just keep doing it, 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 and then keep doing it.
Yeah. No, I feel that. It is interesting though. You see some people like someone that came to mind is like Sam Cllctd, however you Cllctd. I don't know.
Are you
call him Sam G?
Yeah, Sam G.
And I don't know his background, like if he had like a musical family or whatever, but he kind of just like came out of the gate swinging. It felt like just dropping fire, and established a name for himself. And he's really young. I think he's younger probably than like both of us. And there are people that do that, and you know, then have to like redefine themselves. But
that's the thing. You don't want to blow up really quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely helpful in terms of just like getting a lot of people listening to you, but then there feels like there's a really stressful moment probably where you're like, wait, what do I do next?
As my buddy Victor always says, you got to build the foundation before you build the house. So it's I look at it in that sense, you know, you can get instant clout and become Instagram famous or TikTok famous, and there's your house, but now it's on no foundation. So
yeah. Or you just like, you blow up real quick, and then you don't know like how to capitalize off that. Also in terms of just like a lifestyle of like what makes you happy, it's like sometimes when you're making things at the start, like you don't realize that those are like the glory days either.
Yeah. Like am I at my, is epiphany the correct word? Like, am I at the peak moment, you know?
Yeah,
that again is like tying back to the right place, right time kind of thing, and like again knowing how to market your thing, or if you did want to prosper on it, knowing kind of beforehand. But yeah,
Yeah, it's just interesting because I think that it just kind of goes back to that thing about like being in the moment a little bit, like,
Yes.
and just appreciating where you're at. I feel like
Always.
we're all kind of like, this is the point in the show where we get preachy.
We're all in the same boat.
yeah. But it's like there's that real aspect of like enjoying the process, and even though like your companies and like my company are like kind of in their incubator phase, like it's just as relevant and as important as like the later things where like you're doing them and it's like, oh yeah, it's so cool. Like from the outside, people are like, wow, this is so cool. But you're like still probably just looking forward.
Yeah. Wanting to do more.
Yeah. So sometimes it's good to stop and reflect. How often do you think about that? Like actually stopping and reflecting about what you've done.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at that. I've said it before. It's like, I try to be like a shark and just push water through the gills. Just like, just keep moving. Cause then I don't have to, then I don't get angsty. Yeah, exactly. Like Finding Nemo. He knew.
No, that's facts, man. Like, finding a stopping point is definitely, I think, something I gotta pick up on myself. I think where I get my stopping point is my mom. Every time I'm with her, which is not so often as I'd like it to be, it makes you kind of like stop and realize like how much you've done since you've like last seen, you know, X, Y, and Z. I mean, it could be your best friend from college, you know, so on and so forth. But that's what helps me a lot, kind of like self-analyze, like, holy shit, I did do that. Like, yeah, but I've never like sat down and like, I did this at like 10 minutes. I should have done this, you know, like I've never like analyzed it that critically, I guess.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's really like good.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's good. But yeah, anyway, we'll stop getting on our preach wagon. I think we listen to another track and then we'll wrap up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What should we play at the end here?
Let's give you a little of a weird one. You got Fancy Parlay.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
This one's a little weird.
Yeah, is there anything you want to say about this one before we get into it?
The first chorus is not complete, but that's the way I want it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the best way I could put it.
Okay. Kind of like some deep house here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or at least the chord. It's deep-ish.
It changes. See how like feels kind of empty-ish. I took that from
it's like a drop chorus.
Yeah,
like down.
I kind of took that from Tashami. I don't know if you know.
Chami?
Yeah.
TCHAMI.
Yeah. I like how
he does do that a lot.
Yeah.
That year one EP or album. Fire. Yeah, I definitely hear the Chami influence, especially like that album.
Yes.
Era. Yeah. I like how you got some like pseudo trappy like hi-hat snare things. Oh, okay. Bringing in like a little acid action.
Yeah.
This part's for the DJs.
Yep. It's funny because the whole project's co-produced by J Will, and he doesn't really listen to a lot of house music. He's just got a really good ear, and he was like, man, the intro's too long, the outro's too long. And I'm like, you gotta think about it in the sense of mixing. When I'm a DJ, I need that 16 bars, bro. Like, I need that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you could keep it short and sweet, but it's like, nah, like we gotta do that extended mix.
Yes, of course, the extended mix.
We definitely went over a bunch of different styles of house, and honestly, there's a good 8 more tracks to listen to. So yeah, we're gonna let you listen to those, but I'm glad that we got to showcase a few different styles here. Yeah. Yeah, that one I don't know what genre we'd call that exact. What would you call that? Like
progressive house.
Some progressive house. Okay.
Yeah, I call it progressive house.
There's a lot of houses.
Yes.
There's like mansions.
Call it house.
Yeah. Do you ever do techno or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I've tried some hard style.
Okay.
Yeah, I've tried to actually what got me into that is H Hunter.
Oh yeah, I've heard he's a Chicago producer.
Yeah, he does hard style stuff, and I really liked some of the stuff he did, so it kind of gave me some inspiration, and I've tried it out, but I don't think I'll be going down that avenue anytime soon.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but you seem like someone who like that if you get inspiration from something, you're just gonna like go for it.
I'm gonna try it.
So like, yeah, if techno, you were just like, bro, I gotta make a techno track.
Yeah,
like,
I gotta try it.
That might be a day.
Yeah.
You know?
What's the dancing frog techno track?
Oh, yeah, Crazy Frog.
Yeah.
Heater.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we've been going for a minute. Let's do a little wrap up question, and then we'll get you out of here. Even though let's chill.
Let's chill.
Yeah, let's chill for a sec. So we asked, I asked you about your first concert, but
Yes, yeah.
I want to ask you about like your most game-changing concert that you've been to, most impactful, just like, wow, I can't believe that happened.
Damn, bro, you can't ask these questions. No, I'm kidding.
Not allowed.
Damn, that's hard.
Yeah, just a concert where like you saw it
my
and
perspective. Of
yeah,
life.
like it, or just like maybe it made you want to make a certain type of genre, or you were just picked up on one thing that they did, and you're like, oh, I gotta implement that. Or you saw the Wiggles, and it was just like, whoa.
Yeah,
The Wiggles.
Yeah, see, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't think I've had a life-changing event yet, really, to be honest with you. I don't think I can answer that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've had a...
Do you go to a lot of shows?
Not now. I used to. Not now. I like to stay inside, if you get what I'm saying. But doing live sound performance, like, I've seen some crazy stuff, but it's nothing that's like, wow. I think the craziest thing that speaks to me is when the light show is like really synchronized with the music, and when those two go hand in hand, that's when I'm like, whoa. But I've never gone to a concert and seen that. It's just been through like work that I've done and like helping out, a set for an artist or something like that, working for bigger corporate companies.
Gotcha.
Those like private parties, you're like, what the fuck? Like, you walk into a venue, the whole venue's themed, and then the lights are themed with the venue, and then there's a show going on, but LED wall, crazy design on the back. Yeah.
Are these like private events in terms like the client reaches out to the company you're working for, and you guys are like helping?
Yeah, so I'm a freelance. You can say audio engineer, project manager, and then we'll do some stuff like we did a private corporate gig event, and Diplo was the DJ.
Oh wow!
So that was like really.
He's
cool
just walking around. You get to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah.
Say what's up.
Actually, you know what? The POS move that he did. I don't want to call it Diplo, but dude had like a sheet of food that he needed in his like little private room, like a sheet, bro, like pages, like. And he maybe ate like one thing out of that entire page. Like, we had to toss enough food to feed like probably a high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a serious rider.
Yeah, I don't want to poke the bear, but
does
what the hell?
Is that like in like a contractual thing where it's like I'm gonna need this as part of like my bill? Like,
well, he got billed for it. He definitely got billed for it, but I don't think he paid for it. I think corporate office paid for it, and that's why he was just like, I want all this, I need all this.
I mean, he's Diplo, you know what I mean? Like, it's just you can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get to the certain point, yeah.
But it does seem kind of wasteful.
Yeah, even at that point. What are you doing?
Damn, at least like alcohol you can just like keep.
Yep.
Food, it's just like, all right.
You gotta toss it.
Yeah, I mean, depend if it's like cooked food. Like,
it was good food. Like, it was like some chicken wings, like whole sub sandwiches made, like, and we're talking a plethora of stuff, not just like one little one for just him. It was like a room for a bunch of people to go in and utilize, but nobody went back there besides him, and he took like maybe a few things.
Damn. Was he did he do good? That's kind of like a flex to get Diplo for
Hit or
a private
miss.
party.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the whole thing. My buddy Amin was, and he said that there were fights on that night and that more people were watching the fights than watching him DJ. So what he did is had them put the fights up on the screen behind him so people would like focus on him as the fights were going on. It was funny.
Oh, I thought you meant like fights in the venue.
No, like MMA.
About, like,
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's insane to be like, yeah, we're just going to throw a private party and get Diplo. Like, we're not going to get like your run of the mill DJ. We're
Some
gonna get,
DJ from here. Yeah.
We're going to get like one of the most expensive DJs.
Exactly. Mind boggling.
And I'm sure it's such a cush job for him. It's like real low key. Like, you just get to, no one's going to like really remember it.
Easy.
Like,
He showed up 10 minutes before the set, left right after his set.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's probably, dude, the money for that to just fly in.
Oh, through the roof.
Insane.
I can just give you the quote for the whole project. It was $250,000.
Really?
Just for that event, yeah.
How much you think the
that
artist,
he got?
Yeah, just if you could speculate. Like 50?
No.
Like 100?
No. He's walking away with like maybe 25.
Okay.
25, 30 area, at least for that one, yeah.
How long was the set?
I think it was 2 hours.
Damn, that's such good money. I mean, like, I'm sure he does events where he gets paid even more, but like, that's so clutch.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
You get to that level where your name is that, and you're just like, I'm gonna go DJ for an hour and make $20K.
I'll do it. Shit, sign me up for a wedding even if I'm making that much. Yeah, I'll do it.
That's insane. I mean, like, no disrespect either, because like when you get that prominent, there's a reason why you got there.
Mm-hmm.
But
and you can charge that much, you know?
Damn, that's wild, bro. Well, anyway, before I like get depressed, you know, any shout outs to people? I know you've done a lot of shout outs with people you work for, but just wanted to give you the opportunity.
No, I mean, really, that was it. Just all those guys, Blue Door, Cllctd. Oh yeah. Make sure you check out House Sweet House, which I never mentioned is a playoff home sweet home. If you get it.
I got it, but like I'm glad you said it.
You've seen the album cover yet?
Yeah, it's like there's a house and then there's a guy. Yeah, is the guy you?
That's me holding a suitcase.
Okay.
The suitcase I'll talk to you later about. But yeah, it's I Heart House. That's what that is.
Oh, okay.
So there's
a balloon with a heart.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Easter eggs if you can find them.
Okay.
Even in the music videos.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like when people do that.
Hidden.
Yeah. You know, we've already talked about, but where can people find you?
You can find me on social media. I'm also available via email if you want to send me stuff. I always listen to stuff that's sent to me, Trevor at bdschI.com.
Instagram handle is Sir Trevor James.
Sir Trevor James. That's the handle for anything. Yeah, pretty much it.
That's it. That's all she wrote. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Sweet. Hell yeah, bro.
Hey.